Recording in progress. Hello, and welcome back to the Cricket Nerds podcast. I am James, and I'm looking forward to this one. We've got a new look Rajasthan team, and we're going to see how they did in the auction and see, where they're going to end up in the big IPL 2022. So I'm joined with Benji. How you doing, mate?
Great. I'm really pleased that you've given me some intro material because that is not getting cut out.
Or the recording in progress. And Zach, how you doing, mate?
Very well, thanks. Yeah. All good.
A standard Zach level of enthusiasm there for an intro.
We've had a big uptick in subscribers. Our 100 subscriber goal is ever nearer. So please subscribe, and maybe we'll change the goal very soon to like 200, something crazy like that. Can you imagine? So Zach, what do you think of the batsmen that Rajasthan have bought?
They have some very good young Indian batsmen at the top of the order in Jaiswal and Padikkal. Padikkal's been one of the top run scorers the last 2 seasons that he's been part of the IPL. Very upset to see him leave Royal Challengers. I wanted to see him play for Royal Challengers forever, but that happens. Can't keep everyone. And Jaiswal is also, he seems to be an up and comer, and I think they'll do really well at the top of the order. Also with Josh Buttler in your team, that's always going to be dangerous for any opposition. And I think like an outside player who may come into things is maybe Daryl Mitchell. I think getting him at 75 lakhs is a bit of a steal, given that he is in some very good form. The only question mark over that is his experience in India, because we've seen a lot of players can impress for their country or in their own domestic circuit, but then when it comes into the IPL, they might not be as strong. I think they're more likely to go with Shimron Hetmeyer, who is he's just awesome, isn't he? He's very young. I didn't realize how young he actually was. I think he's like 25, so he's still quite young. I thought he was like 30 maybe.
I thought you'd be.
Yeah. So they've got some very good players. I haven't even mentioned Sanju Samson, who normally scores a big fat century early on in the season. So yeah, their batsmen are very good. A good mix of experience and youth and excitement in there.
Yeah. Benj, what do you think about their bowlers, mate?
Well, they've got a great bowling attack. And actually, they've got good depth in that bowling attack as well. I think with like Trent Bolt and Ravi Ashwin are 2 seasoned pros in the IPL. I'm just really glad that Ashwin didn't get picked up again by Chennai. He can be over in Rajasthan, and they can keep him. But that aside, he's a fantastic bowler, isn't he? I think also Yuvendra Chahal was a fantastic purchase too. He had a great IPL last year with RCB. So, and did some great things. He took a lot of wickets. So again, I think from a spin front, they're great. Raw Indian pace attack, questionable. They've got Trent Bolt in there,
Who isn't Indian,
but that's really their only out and out pacer aside from Prashad Krishna.
They've also got Navdeep Saini, who's had some experience playing for India, and they picked him up for 260 lakhs.
I think they've got a very balanced side. I think we'll clearly see Trent Bolt in there. We'll probably a Coulter Nile as the backup. Jimmy Neesham, I expect, will probably be that 4th overseas spot over Coulter Nile. And what I actually like about what Rajasthan did is they actually picked up some very good albeit late on in the auction, but they picked up a lot of good overseas cover. So bringing in, as Zach said, Daryl Mitchell and also Rassie van der Dussen. Like Rassie van der Dussen had a fantastic World Cup in Dubai. So he provides a bit of stability for that sort of middle order. What I think Rajasthan are potentially missing is a middle order. Like if you look at the top of their innings, they've got Butler, Jaiswal, Padikkal and Sampson, who are all openers. And then they've really got Rian Parag and Shane Warne who fit more of the finisher mould. So they haven't really got an out-and-out 3 and 4. They've got all opening batsmen. Now, having said that, the quality of those 4 opening batsmen, they can bat anywhere in that batting order. So Butler's the type of batter who can come out and hit it from ball 1. So, yeah, they're a good side. They're an interesting side. They're I think, quite balanced side. What do you think their pitfalls are, James?
I'd say we could see them struggle getting a third pacer who's like good at the death, particularly. So, like you mentioned, their top 4, looks really good. I have to disagree with you on one little nitpicky point, which is Sanju Samson is a number 3, and he's very good at number 3. So yeah, in my best 11, I actually put Butler at 4 because, like you say, you can go from ball 1. So I got the two young lads at the top. But yeah, I think they're going to fall down when Trent Boult and Prasid Krishna. Trent Boult he can bowl to death, but he's brilliant in the power play. So you kind of want those wickets up front, and then their third seamer. Nathan Kutanile, if you play him, he could be good. But I don't know how much of a death bowler he is. And also, he isn't that great at batting, which means that your good batting, like you say, the middle order, stops at 6. So,
Ashwin,
in the alternative, you have Jimmy Neesham in, who can bat, he can slog a few over cow corner. He can slog a lot over cow corner, and he always does against England. I don't know why that is. That's rude. But with his bowling, he can be a bit hit and miss. He can be this amazing, like, medium pacer that will just take wickets for fun, or he'll get absolutely clarted. So that's the only question mark I can really see. I think this is a very good-looking side. I think this is really... They've done really well out of this auction, and we could see them compete for the first time since 2008. Really, yeah. I don't know what you think, Zach.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting seeing who they pick as their 7th Indian spot. Whether it is Rian Parag, probably will be, but I think their lower order hitting could come into question, because what seems to be the way they're going to approach their innings are solid start with Padikkal and Jaiswal, and then keep the momentum going with players like Sampson, Butler and Hetmeyer, and hope that one of those is still batting in the last 4 overs with someone like a Jimmy Neesham. Because if you've got those really top quality batsmen at the end, they can cause a lot of damage with someone like Neesham at the other end. But yeah, I think it's their lower middle order, their finishers. They don't have someone in that slot to come in other than maybe Jimmy Neesham. So I think that's where they're hoping that their top 5-6 batsmen, who are all very good, one of them will continue into that death hitting role. But other than that, I think it's just their Indian coverage isn't great. They're relying on a lot of young Indian players who are probably quite good. Rajasthan are known for having some pretty good young Indian players. But these are all minor things which I think they won't need to worry about that much, because they've got some very good players.
Right, yeah. Benji, so a big Bengal prediction.
Well,
where it's going to end, and are there any like Benji ones to watch?
The one guy I do want to shout out is KC Cariappa. 30 lap pickup. He's a 27 years old, so he's got the experience, but he's a leg spinner. Bats and plays for I don't even know how to say that, but a team inside Mushrik Ali. In T20, he averages an economy of 6.75. So, you know, he doesn't go for that many runs. And he's got his best bowling of 4 for 175. Now, he's actually made his debut in the IPL. He played for Kolkata Knight Riders, played against RCB. I mean, he got smoked all over the place by Christopher Henry Gale, but he's had a few more years to develop. We may see him a bit later on in the season if they need a bit more coverage. Who can say? As to where they're going to
come up for a year as well, actually.
There you
But I
go.
don't think
So,
he's very
you know,
consistent.
he's been around, but he's a bit of young Indian talent. It was his T20 debut. Anyway, where are Rajasthan going to come in the league? As I said, I think they've got a good 11 and they've got a decent amount of coverage. I think we could see Rajasthan in the playoffs this year. I'm going to say I think they might hit 4th place.
Zach, where do you think they're going to come?
I think they will come. I don't think they're going to make it to the top 4. I think, although they've got some good players, I actually don't think they're going to end the season that well. I think they might have a good start and then kind of tail off when the other teams have better bowlers. But because I wouldn't say their bowling's that strong compared with some of the other teams. So I'm going to put them at 7.
7 out of 10. There we go. I think they've got some very experienced bowlers there. They've got some very inexperienced bowlers there. I think they could do all right. I'm putting them at. I think we'll go for 4th. I think they just make playoffs. Maybe 5th. I can't remember where I said Punjab would be, but you know, we'll cover this in a future video anyway, where we outline what our absolute predictions are. So
yeah, everyone's 5th, 6th, or 7th at the moment.
Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe. We are aiming for just tons of subscribers. That's the new goal. We just want a lot. Yeah, please leave a like and comment below what you think the best Rajasthan squad is. Do you think they've got any weaknesses? If so, what are they? And we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the man who first captained Rajasthan. Shane Warne obviously passed away. So what is your favourite Shane Warne moment as well? If you have one, please comment that below. So plenty of stuff to comment. So yeah, we will see you guys on the flippity flip.